So next we are going to torsional vibration of a geared system. Here, up to this we have considered single rotor, two rotor and three rotor. Here what we are doing is instead of middle rotor we are assuming a geared system, that is a pinion gear arrangement there. Okay, so here consider a geared system as shown in figure like this. So rotor A, in which rotor A on one shaft, then rotor A on one shaft. Shaft C is connected through pinion E. Means here you can see a shaft C attached to rotor A, and that shaft is connected to pinion E. E is pinion, and the gear F. Pinion E is connected to gear F, and gear F to the rotor B on the second shaft D. Here you can see between gear F and rotor B there is another shaft D. So here what we are doing is we are replacing the system as usual by an equivalent system of uniform diameter. Means we are assuming the diameter of the system as D1, and we are finding the node position. Okay, here only one nodes occur. Means here only this is a case of two rotor system. Here there is no three rotor. Here only two rotors are here, so it is considered as a two rotor system and only one node occur. Okay, so that is shown here, LA and LB. So what we have to do here, the different steps you have to do here is, before that we have to assume something. Means first what the assumptions are: inertia on both shaft, that is pinion B and gear C, are negligible. First one, pinion B and gear C. Okay, clear? Pinion B and gear C are negligible. Then the drive is positive with no slip, teeth are loaded with an elastic limit, gears are rigid and always in contact. So first we have to define the different terms like L1, L2, the length of shaft C and D. Okay, then L, length of equivalent shaft, you can refer to the second figure. Then D1, D2, diameter of shaft C and D. Then D, equivalent shaft diameter, second figure. Then IA, IB, mass moment of inertia of rotor A and B. Then omega, omega B, angular velocity of rotor A and B. Then once we are getting up to this, first that we are going to gear ratio. Gear ratio means, what is the gear ratio equation? That is angular velocity of driver by driven. Angular velocity of driver by driven. So which is the rotor here in the driver side? A, means on the pinion side, and which is on the driven side? B. So omega A by omega B, that is NE by NF is equal to omega A by omega B, means driver by driven. So next what we are assuming is IB dash as mass moment of inertia of equivalent rotor B dash. Here we are assuming one equivalent rotor as B dash. That is what is the use of that I will discuss later. Just an equivalent diameter rotor B dash. So the different condition to be satisfied here are: first condition, the kinetic energy of equivalent shaft and original shaft should be same. Energy both must be same. Then the strain energy of equivalent shaft and original shaft should be same. Strain energy in both the case should be same. What is strain energy? The energy stored due to straining effect. That is strain energy. So the kinetic energy of L1 plus kinetic energy of L3. L3 means, what is L3 here? Equivalent length of the shaft. That is L3. And kinetic energy of L1 plus kinetic energy of L2 means length of the original shaft. So here we can see L1, L3 represents equivalent and L1, L2 represents original shaft. So L1, L1 you can cancel, or kinetic energy of L3 is equal to kinetic energy of L2. And in what is the kinetic energy equation? Half mv square or half I omega square. So half IB dash omega B dash square. That is why we have considered here IB dash. For equivalent shaft we are assumed two notation, IB dash and omega B dash. Each is equal to half IB omega B square, that is original shaft. So from that you are getting IB dash square, IB dash into omega B dash square equal to IB into omega B square. So omega b dash is equal to omega a here. Clear? Omega b dash is equal to omega a, and g is equal to omega by omega b. That is also clear. Means omega b dash is equal to omega. That is how you are getting omega b dash is equal to omega a. Here, if you are referring to this figure, you can see in case of equivalent shaft, how many rotors are here? A and b dash. And in the case of equivalent shaft, the angular velocity, that is already you have studied. In case of two rotor system, the angular velocity of both the rotor will be equal. So omega b dash will be equal to omega a. That is, in case of equivalent shaft, both are equal. And g is omega a by omega b. That is also clear. What is G? G means gear ratio. Gear ratio is equal to gear ratio is equal to angular velocity of driver by driven. That is, driver is A. You can see here driver is A, driven is B. So omega A by omega B. So once you get this, what is IB dash? IB dash is equal to, from the first equation, IB dash is equal to IB into omega B by omega B dash square. And instead of omega B dash, what you can do? Omega A, because in equivalent shaft, the angular velocity of both the rotor will be equal. So omega b by omega a square, which is equal to IB into, that is, omega b by omega a 1 by g. So 1 by g square. So this is the first condition, is kinetic energy of equivalent system and original system should be same. What is the second condition? The strain energy of equivalent system and original system should be same. So similarly, strain energy of L3 is equal to strain energy of L2. That is, strain energy means half T3 theta 3. T means torque, theta means angular twist, which is equal to half T2 into theta 2. From that we are getting T3 by T2 equal to theta 2 by theta 3. For T2 T3 means torque on L2 L3. Theta 2 theta 3 means angular twist on L2 L3. So power transmitted in section L3 and L2 are same. Clear? L3 and L2. So what we are getting? T3 into omega A is equal to T2 into omega B. How you are getting T3, T2 here? Means you can see here L3. L3 means corresponding section. L3. Okay. L3 T omega. That is L3 into omega B dash. Clear? Omega B dash, instead of omega B dash, what you can substitute? Omega A. That is equivalent system. That is T3 into omega A, which is equal to T2 into omega B. That is, T2 means corresponding to B. That is omega B. So that is how you are getting T3 into omega is equal to T2 into omega B. So T3 by T2 will be equal to omega B by omega A. That is 1 by G. And next we are moving to torsion stiffness. What is torsion stiffness? Torque by angular twist. That is T by theta, which is equal to Cj by L. So for section L3, what will be the equation? T3 by theta 3, which is equal to Cj3 by L3. Section L2, T2 by theta 2, which is equal to Cj2 by L2. So dividing above equation, what you are getting? That is, you divide the above two equation. That is T3 by T2 into theta 2 by theta 3 equal to J3 by J2 into L2 by L3. So from equation 3, which is the equation 3, the above you are considering, this is the equation 3, T3 by T2 equal to theta 2 by theta 3 equal to T3 by T2. This is the equation. This equation T2, this equation theta 2 by theta 3 equal to T3 by T2. You are getting like this. So if you are substituting T3 by T2 here in place of theta 2 by T3, you are getting T3 by T2 square equal to J3 L2 by J2 L3. So what is T3 by T2? This is equal to 1 by G. If you are referring here T3 by T2, you can see T3 by T2 equal to 1 by j. So 1 by g, 1 by j, 1 by g, d3 d equal to 1 by g. So 1 by g square equal to j3 L2 by j2 L3, or L3 is equal to, if you are from this equation, L3 you can see j3 by j2 into g square into L2. You are separating L3 here. So assuming equivalent length of the shaft is that of shaft C, that is D is equal to D1. Equivalent shaft means just assuming equivalent length of the shaft is D1, first shaft. So J3 equal to pi D1 raised to 4 by 32. J2 is equal to pi D2 raised to 4 by 32. So J3 by J2 is equal to D1 by D2 raised to 4. Okay. So L3 is equal to G square into L2 into D1 by D2 raised to 4. Clear? Means J3 by J2 you can substitute D1 by D2 raised to 4. Clear? Means why we are taking here J3 is equal to pi D1 raised to by 32 means you have assumed the equivalent shaft as 3 always correspond to equivalent length. Means L3 that corresponds to equivalent shaft. So J3 is equal to, instead of equivalent length, what we are we have taken the equivalent diameter of the shaft. We have taken the equivalent diameter of shaft as D1. That is why we are taking here J3 equal to pi D1 raised to 4 by 32. And J2, what is the J2 means? Original diameter. So original shaft. So pi D2 raised to 4 by 32. So finally equivalent shaft length we are getting L is equal to L1 plus L3. L3 means equivalent shaft length. That is L1 plus, instead of L3 what you can substitute, G square into L2 into D1 by D2 raised to 4. So this is the final length of the equivalent shaft. So next we are substituting different thing. Natural frequency Fn is equal to 1 by 2 pi into root of Cj by Ia into La. Similarly Fnb dash equal to 1 by 2 pi into root of Cj by Ib dash into Lb dash, equivalent shaft. Okay, and we know both frequencies are equal. Fn is equal to Fnb. So 1 by 2 pi into root of Cj by La equal to 1 by 2 pi into root of Cj by Ib dash into Lb dash, or La Ia equal to Lb dash Ib dash. And also you can see here, if you are referring to the equivalent shaft figure, La plus Lb dash is equal to total length L. That is written here, La plus Lb dash equal to L. So natural frequency can be obtained by the two equations, above two equations. Now one more note here, if inertia of gears is to be considered, then an additional rotor shown in dotted line is to be considered as shown. Means here in this consideration we have not considered the inertia of gears. Means if the inertia is mentioned in any problem, if suppose if the inertia of the gear system is also mentioned, then mass moment of inertia will be, that is I dash, that is the equivalent in the equivalent figure I dash. Instead of I we are getting I dash. The I dash is equal to I plus If by G square. G means gear ratio, that is I by If. Then If means moment of inertia of pinion and gear, and If means mass moment of inertia of E and F, and the system becomes three rotor system. When it becomes three rotor system, when the moment of inertia of gears is also considered, but when it is not mentioned, it is only a two rotor system. Okay, so then we can go to a problem. Okay, this is a question. Here, a motor drives a centrifugal pump through a gearing as shown in figure. This is the figure. Motor drives a centrifugal pump through a gearing as shown in figure. So here, motor is the driver, pump is the driver. The pump speed being 1/2 of that motor. The shaft from the motor to the pinion is 80 mm diameter and 350 mm long. The moment of inertia of motor is 500 kg/m square. The impeller shaft is 110 mm diameter and 700 mm long. The moment of inertia of the impeller is 1600 kg/m square. Determine the frequency of torsional vibration system neglecting inertia of gears and shaft. So it is a two rotor system. take C is equal to 80 giganewton per meter square. So these are the different terms given. Gear ratio G is equal to NA by NB. That is, NA by NB means 1 by, here it is given, the pump speed being 1/2 of the motor. So 1 by NA means speed of the motor, and pump being half of the motor. So 1 by 1 by 2. So 2. So gear ratio is 2. And D1 is 80 mm, L1 350 mm, IA 500, D2 110, L2 700, IB 1600, C 80 giganewton. So mass amount of inertia equivalent shaft will be, what will be equivalent shaft mass amount of inertia IB dash is equal to IB by G square. And G means IB by IB dash, driver by driver. So IB dash is equal to driver, it is given 1600 by G2. So we are getting 400. So length of the equivalent additional shaft will be what? L3 is equal to G square into L2 into D1 by D2 raised to 4. That is G square means 2 square into L2, 0.7 into 0.08 by 0.110 raised to 4, which is getting 783 mm. So this is the figure. Pinion, gear, there's a pump shaft driver, motor driver, pump shaft driven, motor driver, then equivalent length figure L1 and L3, and third one node figure N, LA, LB. Since the moment of inertia of pinion and gear are neglected, it is a 2 rotor system. Okay, and it is marked here LA, LB dash in the node figure, LA, LB dash. So total length of the equivalent shaft will be L is equal to L1 plus L3. So here you have got L3. So L1 we know 350. So L1 plus L3. That is the total length of the equivalent shaft. 350 plus 783. That is you are getting 1133 mm. So next we have to find LA. That is LA IA equal to LB dash into IB dash. That is 500 into LA is equal to 400 into IB dash. What is IB dash? 400 into LB dash. What is LB dash here? L minus LA. So L minus LA, and L you have already know L, and LA we can find from here. So we are getting L. Where we are getting L means L we have already find, means, so you are getting here LA, and L we already found. So LA you are getting 0.5035 meter, that is 504 mm. So find, next we are going to natural frequency. Natural frequency is J is equal to pi d1 raised to 4 by 32. For equivalent shaft we are assuming pi d1 raised to 4 by 32. Anything means first we are finding pi d1 raised to 4 by 32. So natural frequency is 1 by 2 pi into root of Cj by LA IA. LA you know, I every time we know. So Fn is equal to 5.69 hertz. So that's all. So that's why we have come to an end of 6th module. So the different topics we have discussed here in 6th module, the main topics we have discussed here 6th module are, if you are referring to the initial slide, okay, so these are the different things we have discussed here: torsional vibration, single rotor, 2 rotor, torsional equivalent system, 3 rotor system, geared system. So usually problems are asking from all the sector. Means some years you can refer the university question. Some years they have asked from single rotor, and another some years 2 rotor, torsional equivalent, 3 rotor gear system. From every section problem they are asking. So you have to understand all these cases. Once you studied these cases, these 5 cases, one problem is sure. 1 or 2 problems they can ask. In some cases, sometimes they are asking 2 problems also from this section. So this section is very important. Don't neglect. So, the gear system is somewhat complicated. All others are very simple. All others are okay, but only the gear system and 3 rotor system are somewhat is little bit complicated. So you just refer to this one, and you have any doubt, you just ask me. Okay. Thank you.